All right, so now we're going to go ahead and open up our file explorer because I want to take a location that I'm going to put under my projects here, and I have a tutorials folder, and inside of here I'm going to create a new folder for this tutorial, which is node.js. I do a lot of tutorials, so you guys can check out some of my other stuff. Everything should be available on Hipster Code, or just go to my Chris Hawk's website, and or YouTube channel actually is the best way to check out everything that I have there. So here's this node folder, and we're going to actually keep our project in there. So first things first, let's go ahead and open up a command prompt to that folder location, and you can do that by clicking this navigation bar here and then just typing CMD in Windows, and it takes you right to that directory. So it's a cool useful shortcut. And now we can use npm, and we're going to run the init command, and this will actually create a configuration object. And it's really just a file in JSON format, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation. We don't really need to get into all that, but it is a specific type of data, the way data is organized, and it's very common on the web, so that data either comes in XML or in JSON, which is, like I said, JavaScript Object Notation, but let's not worry about that too much because it's not important. So let's give our project here a name, and we're just going to call this node tutorial. And you can't have spaces in the project name, so that's why I have to use an underscore. And we'll say it's version 1.0. So let's say a node.js tutorial by Chris Hawks. All right. And then entry point index.js, that's fine. And Git repository, keyword. I'll just leave all that. Yes. All right, good. Now if we look, we have this package.json file. The next thing you want to do is actually, we're going to use Visual Studio Code. So let's go ahead and you're going to want to get this downloaded and installed on your machine. You don't have to use Visual Studio Code. Whatever you like to write your code in, you can use. It's not like Node.js isn't picky about this, so it doesn't matter what you use to write your Node code. But I do recommend Visual Studio Code because there are so many different libraries out there now that allows you to code in C# and Python and PHP and everything, and it's like a really good product these days. So probably the most popular editor, I think, right now for a slimmed down editor. All right, so when you have Visual Studio installed, we need to open up the folder to our tutorial location. So we'll go to tutorials and node. I'm going to select that folder. And clearly we have nothing in there but our package.json, but here you can see that is the actual file. So when we go ahead and let's create our first Node.js really we're going to create our first Node project. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to click new file, and we're just going to call this index.js. All right, so inside of here what we're going to do is just a simple hello world in Node.js. All right, and in order to do that, we're going to do console.log, and if you've ever done any sort of JavaScript, this is very similar because we're using a JavaScript syntax to write this code, which is really cool because technically it's not JavaScript, but it is JavaScript. So hard to explain. It's basically, like I said, the core of Node.js is C and C++, and this is just using JavaScript in order to interact with that core code base. All right, so let's go to our command prompt. And if we look, now we have our index.js file in there. So we're going to use node to actually execute this. So we're going to say node index.js. And here you can see that it outputted the value hello world. So you've actually created your first Node.js project. And just like all the other tutorials and programming that all do the hello world, we did the same thing here.